Good time zone, and a happy birthday to all of those around the world. Today's a day of 3.3. I think we're nearing the end. I think there's a 3.4, which I guess will finish things off. I don't know. What else? Kind of crazy to think about. Got some big answers last time. Into the nature of this, of Amphorius. See how it plays out though. I also, because I was like, okay, if we are nearing the end, like we're not gonna see 12 Chrysos heirs. As we've learned, some of them are already dead. But I was like, they've shown some of them several times in like videos and stuff, but I looked into it a bit, and those are the ones that are already dead. Like Violin Girls, she's dead. So I don't know why they kept showing them, to be honest. I thought they were gonna be characters. And the person whom I thought was the Chrysos heir for Ornyx is apparently the Chrysos heir for Talanton. I don't know why they had the word time associated with them then. But yeah, there's not gonna be a replacement Chrysos heir for time. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work for us, because we can't reincarnate here and stay as a god. We can't do that. So I thought they were gonna show up and take over for us. But that's not gonna happen because that person's not the Chrysos heir of time. And also, yeah, I don't know how this works, because like the Titans are the people and they reincarnate and it's a cycle, but we're not the same person. We're an outsider, so like we took over a different person's like soul, but then like yeah, we can't stay. So presumably the cycle's ending, I imagine, this time around, which is probably a bad thing based on what we learned and the fact that there's, you know, the whole world is a prison for a Lord Ravager. So yeah, but I imagine that we're gonna end the cycle or something, because we can't stay. Characters we know are the only ones. There's no new characters showing up. At least in terms of Chrysos heirs, I guess. I guess there could be other. I can't imagine they're going to introduce a new major character at this point. Quabam. So I believe Hyacine is the new character. Will she get a big banner front in your face announcement like they did for Caceres? No. They really wanted you to get Caceres. Please, guys, you gotta get Caceres. You gotta love her. Can't help but notice I saw a multiplayer mode. What is that? I don't ever look at the patch notes, so I didn't know there was a multiplayer mode coming out. What is that? Version universe. So close to getting the Stephen Lloyd avatar. That's my goal in life right there. So what is multiplayer mode? Added multiplayer mode feature portal to the phone, through which Trailblazers can quickly access currently available multiplayer modes. Oh, is this just for like the different little like event games? Maybe? I don't know. I guess I'll click on it. In a second. Yeah, it's for this sort of thing. Multiplayer mode has been unlocked. Click to participate in the event and head to the event page. So seal slammers and all that stuff. I did multiplayer seal slammers. It was good. Some people had wild strategies and sometimes didn't seem to know what they were doing. I don't remember how to edit the layout. I'll probably move multiplayer mode down though. I don't need it right there. Where are the other buttons? A new adventure has begun. So we got Amplitude, Shortcut. Oh yeah, Herda is already back on rerun, which is crazy. They skipped like so many characters to bring Herda back, and Aglaya is coming back too. I think they might have skipped them because they are reworking old characters, maybe? I don't know, but boy, it's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on. The Hyacine is Remembrance class, but she's a healer. And so at this point, it's become apparent that the Remembrance is a catch-all term for any other role. Like, they don't have a single role. They are just... Their thing is that they have a minion, but they can be any other role. I imagine we'll probably get a Remembrance tank at some point. But we've got DPS, and we've got utility, and we have a healer now. So they can just do it all. And they give you more characters. Kind of just maybe the best class, question mark? I don't know. Still don't have them. Not rolling. Good times on Luigi. Don't think I'm going to be rolling for Hyacine. I don't know if I need a healer. All my teams are pretty filled out, and I don't think she adds anything to them. Summon Little Ika. When allies' HP is lowered, heal them. Increases all max HP, which is good for certain characters like Fu Shuwen, who tanks on max HP, and Tribi, who deals damage on max HP. So that is useful for those. The higher the output healing, the higher the damage dealt by Little Ika.
Let's have a break.
Where did a magical floating spiritual unicorn come from? I don't know. I'm sure it'll just show up at this point. Deals wind damage, summons Memo Sprite Little Ika and restores HP for all allies. Summons Memo Sprite Little Ika, restores HP for all allies, enters the After Rain stage. While Hyacine is in this stage, increases all allies' max HP. Talent, when Hyacine or Little Ika provide healing, increases Little Ika's damage dealt. Technique, when the battle starts, restores HP and increases max HP. Deals wind damage to all enemies. If an ally target, except Little Ika, has reduced HP, Little Ika will consume their own HP and restore HP for the target. When Hyacine has After Rain, Little Ika gains 1 extra turn and automatically uses Memo Sprite skill immediately after Hyacine uses an ability. After Little Ika uses an ability, the duration for their continuous effects decreases by 1 turn. When summon regenerates energy for Hyacine. Upon disappearing, advances action of Hyacine. Hyacine has entered Magical Girl territory with her staff.
That one's hard to persuade.
Let's try it this other way.
Oh my gosh. They changed the MC's voice actor. Wow, okay. Did they fix everyone else's voice and therefore change their voice actors too now? Will Don Hung have a voice finally?
Well, I'm not in a hurry anyway.
Why are we so much deeper? Why we sound way older now? I'm not sure I like that. It's not bad for the voice actor, but like the character just doesn't really fit having that deep of a voice. We sound like we're 30. 30 or 40, not a young sprightly teenager or young adult.
We can do it all!
I will guide with the Rainbow Bridge.
The skill just summons and yeah, what are we doing is summons.
We do need some sunshine.
Break's over.
May this faint light
MC doesn't talk that much to be fair, but they do talk during combat.
restore clear skies. Once more.
Break's over.
Embrace a new life. May death protect us. Root here. There's more to life. Every petal.
All will be swept away by the
If they
wind.
redid the whole game, they might.
This is being in sync?
Mimi!
We'll have to see if the other characters changed as well.
Mm.
Trust me. 'Cause I know.
'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'Cause I know. 'C
We can do anything.
This one's gonna take a while to get used to. It's so much deeper.
Have some sunshine.
I shall remember this one.
Embrace a new life. May death protect us.
Please cherish this.
As you wish. Guys, Rainbow Bridge. The leader with
I shall remember this.
May this faint dispel the gloom, destroy the skies. Embrace a new life. May death protect us.
Yeah, who was missing? So Dan Heng's missing a voice, Himiko is missing a voice. March hasn't spoken this entire arc of the story, so I don't know if if her voice actor actually was missing or not.
Root here.
Firefly, I think, also didn't have a voice. Which that one, if they changed
value, I
hers,
suppose.
which I assume they probably just are going to change them. That one sucks too, because I liked her. I don't remember if anyone else did.
Trust me. We can do anything.
Embrace a new life. Existence is unity. Life is not so darkness with me. May death protect us.
Yeah, Acheron showed up. She didn't have voice acting. Actually, now that I think about it, she did show up. Beat the Dachshund Griffin without taking any damage from its summons. That good. Everyone was fired. They weren't fired. There was voice actor, I guess, protests with the main studio that Hoyoverse used. So, yeah, they lost a lot of their voice actors. It's why Argenti, back during Pinacone, didn't have a voice actor. It's like it was still related to that, I'm pretty sure. It's been going on for a long time. Let's find out. We can look up their voice lines.
Hi, we meet again. What I mean is, it's nice to see you. Just call me Firefly, as always.
Well, that seems the same. Unless they didn't change these voice lines.
When there is a chance to make
Oh, they didn't
when there
change
is a
these.
chance to make a choice, make one that you know you won't. Rhythm get messed up? Rhythm get messed up?
Did they only change Remembrance MC? Hold on. Because that's crazy. If they only changed the Remembrance MC? How do I switch classes again?
When there is a chance.
Mimi! Mimi! Mimi!
Okay. Can I not have Mim talk? where is it? These voice lines aren't working. He definitely was different though in that battle.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
They're just not working in this stuff. Interesting.
Journeys never end.
Okay, interesting. Seems like it's broken or something. I don't know. Definitely had a different voice though. Yeah, because I used Okay, so though the voice lines changed, but also didn't change, but also might be broken.
Take your positions. Let's improvise. Dreams do come true.
Harmony ones did not change, at least on that menu.
I should reintroduce myself. I updated the databank entries today, if you wanted to look anything up. Time to turn in already? Thanks for the reminder. The time is now. Don't hesitate.
I think that's the same. Although the audio quality seems kind of weird. I think that's the same. But the voice lines might be not, I don't know. We'll find out in the story, I guess, if he's got a voice. I don't have Himeko, so I don't know if the databank lets me look it up. No. Did the patch notes maybe say or something? New events, others, gameplay, system, adjustments and optimizations, maybe. Audio. Just issue where some dialogue voice lines were incorrect in the mission flow of M4. Okay. When the voice language is set to English, the voice actors for the Trailblazer male and Trailblazer female have been adjusted. Adjusts the in-battle voice lines for Trailblazer Remembrance, their dialogues in Trailblazer Mission of 3.3, and their audio assets, and as I have written, other relevant audio assets will be updated in the future. Please refer. Yeah, so they did Remembrance first, although the voice lines in the character screen are broken. But they did get a new Trailblazer. I wonder why they adjusted Remembrance. They had the voice lines for Remembrance. I don't know. Adjusted the English voice actors for the NPCs Lipos, Young Finon, Spirit Thief, Bartolos, and King Euripon. Adjust and optimize NPCs Castories and Cypher's mouth animations. Fair enough. Adjust some dialogue voice lines for Neas. There's some Japanese dialogue voice changes as well. But no one else has changed but Trailblazer. So maybe it's it could be the start of new voice actors coming in, or it could just be maybe the Trailblazer guy himself. quit or something. I don't know. I have a feeling though they're probably just gonna. It's probably the start of them changing everyone, because it has been going on for a long time, and this entire arc has been partially. All the old, like most of the old characters, have been devoiced. Alright, let's get to it. The Fall at Dawn's Rise. View story recap, sure.
Following the advice of the Chrysos heirs,
Oh boy.
I embarked on the trial of time, only to learn that I had been dead since the moment I stepped onto Emphorius. To reclaim the future that had been stolen from me, we pushed onward in pursuit of the Death Titan, Thanatos. Meanwhile, Anaxa, one of the 7 sages of the Grove of Epiphany, broke free from the surveillance of the Golden Threads and actively sought refuge from the Council of Elders. After winning the Council's trust, he ascended Dawncloud with Circe's the Reason Titan, who resided within him, and sought an audience with Kefali, the world-bearing Titan. To obtain information about the entrance to the Nether Realm, Castorus had no choice but to support the Council of Elders in proposing a pause in the flame chase journey. With the aid of the demigod, Cypher, she set out for the ancient city of the dead dragon, Styxia.
It's just like, it's too gloomy, kind of too serious. It's not actually as deep as the combat one sounded, but it's just like, it's a different emotion with this one.
Castorus successfully recreated the dead dragon Pollux via alchemy, and used its power to return to the Nether Realm, where she faced Thanatos, the Death Titan. She returned both the Titan's core flame and the stolen future, restoring the cycle of life and death in Emphorius.
Like, it needs to be a little more lighthearted. The things this game has the main character do and act, the main character's not a serious person.
Anax's soul met Castorus in the Nether Realm, where he proved his hypothesis regarding creation. At the Citizens' Assembly, he cast a pivotal vote and used the charge of blasphemy to thwart the Council of Elders' schemes for power, allowing the flame chase journey to continue.
Speaking of flame chase journey, talk about that I guess after this ends, although it might put us into a cutscene. This is the recap. Speaking of the flame chase journey, the Chrysos heir of Talenton apparently made the flame chase journey into law, which kind of does two things. One, it's kind of crazy that if it was made into a law by the god or demigod of law, that people were like trying to vote against it, because like, how could you vote against something that was made into law by a god? Don't know how that works. Seems kind of set in stone. Seems like it's going to happen no matter what. It was made into law, like a universal law. And two, did they even have to make it into a law? Because it's been a thing that always happens, because it's a cycle. I guess they didn't necessarily know it was a cycle, but if they had been given the knowledge after obtaining the core flame of Talenton, why would they even need to make it into a law for it to always happen anyway? It was already set in stone. I guess it was kind of set in stone by a like, does every Talenton always make it a thing? I don't know.
After returning Circe's core flame, Anax's physical body completely disappeared. With this, the flame chase journey neared its conclusion, and all eyes turned skyward.
Time to kill Aquila.
Share the good news with the whole city.
Although I question, we'll see what they do. Literally up until this update, they've been like, yeah, for the past like 1,000 years or whatever, we've ignored Aquila because how are we supposed to get up to him? It's impossible. But suddenly, I guess we're gonna have a way? Question like, I guess suddenly we just know how to get to it. We'll see. Obviously, there has to be a way because, right, the past cycles have done it. It's just interesting, like, up until the last time we talked about Aquila, which might not have been last update, but it was definitely the update before that. No one had a clue. Collect my thoughts. Thanatos and Circe's core flames have been returned. Sometime after that, the 12 constellations hover above, overlooking the vortex of Genesis. They embody the 12 Amphorian deities, fate, foundation, creations, and the calamity of this world. Now 10 among them have fallen. Their core flames return to the origin of Genesis. Above you, constellations shimmer, their brilliance echoing the faint slumber of each titan. Would make sense if we're the ones to figure it out. We are the variable, and so I guess that makes sense. I mean, we had a rocket ship, I guess. It crashed, but maybe we could use it again. And you have experienced 4 ascensions and 4 partings. Strife. The Lance of Fury once became the Mad King, plunging the world into ceaseless strife, until your valor brought, I assume that is supposed to be, brought it to an end. And its demigod successor, the undying Mightymost, chose to bear the title of Krymnos alone, returning home to be crowned as the last line of defense for the Holy City, only to immediately be killed, apparently. Mighty, may your battles know no defeat. Well, he lost already, actually. Time. Back then, the incarnation of time entrusted Mim to you at Temple of the Three Fates. Back then, the lively girl with red hair fulfilled her mission and bid the first farewell. Time speaks not of fairness, yet it never stops, and now their power resides in your hands. See you tomorrow, Trian. Reason. Not long ago, the head of the Grove of Sages helped you repel the menace that is the Black Tide, and still not long past, that unruly scholar staged one grand performance, granting you a glimpse of this world's truth at the cost of his life. Oh, the incarnation of reason, that edge of existence, have you found your answer? Death. The prophecy once made the Hand of Shadow choose two, granting one the fate of death. Yet their bond wove hauntingly beautiful tale that stretches across time. At the end, the incarnation of death, who journeyed from the nether realm to the living world, chose to remain in the sea of flowers, retrieving your future. At the end of the west wind, we shall meet again, Castaris. It's been a long journey. Time and again farewells haven't numbed you. You can't help but wonder, how many more goodbyes will the journey of trailblazing entail? You question whether you'll be able to express each goodbye with heartfelt emotion. Your thoughts sink into the ocean. You recall how the Amphorians cherish epics, using stories to soothe their sorrows. Perhaps you should embrace this way to dispel your melancholy and regain your strength. And then let it begin. Countless words of adventure surge through your mind. You need only to grasp just one to anchor your creation. But don't be influenced by the noise outside. Just focus on the key word in your mind. It is indeed difficult, but you should still cling tightly to your inspiration, weaving heartfelt and elegant verses. Alright, this is an impossible task. Just one glance at your phone, it won't disrupt your thoughts, or so you tell yourself. Who gave Cypher my number? Gray mystery. Last time in Styxia, 0 time for treasure hunting. Absolute disaster. Now the River of Soul is mostly retreated. I'm back, baby. In the water. A big shiny chest. Can't use the miracle orb. And I can't wade through. Your power of time is needed now. 70-30 split. 30 for you, 70 for me? Exactly. 30 for you, 70 for me. Well played. Details, schmeetails. Get your here and we'll talk. You must admit, even during this arduous and struggling low point, there are still those who live joyfully. Cypher's endless surging desire for wealth seems more turbulent than the waters of Scale Gorge waterscape. Forget the past for now. It only brings sorrow, but sadness has no place in this moment. What you need is to drive to move forward. You decided to head to Styxia, where the River of Souls is no longer blocked, to meet up with Cat Girl. Hopefully those glittering, clinking trinkets will, as always, lift your spirits.
Oh, Styxia's moonlight is so beautiful. And the River of Souls is so quiet. It's like everything that happened was just a dream. I wonder if Cass is doing okay on the other side. If I write a letter and put it in a drift bottle, will she be able to read it?
Only if the bottle's dead. Now's not the time to feel down.
You're right. We promised Cass that we continue the flame chase journey, so we can't let her worry. Now's not the time to feel down. We gotta pull ourselves together. By the way, it was Miss Cypher who asked us to come here. But where has she gone? Huh?
Is there someone else here?
Yes, and this aura feels so familiar. Let's go check it out together. Be very careful. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did someone force her to text us? Is this a trap?
Hey, what's that on the ground? Should we pick it up? Careful, careful. It's a piece of black cloth.
My gosh. Why does his clothes always fall apart? You need to get a better tailor, dude.
Now, where have I seen this before?
It's the Flame Reaver.
What? How could they be here?
Because they didn't die.
Mummy! Look out!
My gosh, he's also really sneaky. Hello, Flame Reaver. Are you the Lord Ravager? Are you the avatar of the Lord Ravager? Get ready.
Wait! We both know what this thing can do.
What is that symbol on your sword? Have we seen that? It looks kind of familiar, but I don't think it's quite right. He looks is kind of Kefalish, but also it's got like the circle, which I don't think is right.
Let's try our best to deal with them for now, and we'll slip into the past with time's power as soon as we can.
He's in the past too.
The river of souls is full of fish, big and delicious.
Oh, you're kind of weird, huh? Kind of a weirdo.
What?
What?
The flame chase journey stops. Meow, meow.
Meow?
What's happening? I didn't realize Cypher could shapeshift.
Sorry, I couldn't pass on the chance to give you two a good scare.
So it's you, Cypher.
Ah! Don't run! I'm the real Cypher. The real one. Come on, don't be upset. I'm just giving you a kind reminder that Emphorius isn't safe at all. The whole place is full of dangers, including that Swordmaster. Make sure you stay on your toes, no matter where you are.
You're playing both good cop and bad cop? Not really. Well, ain't I grateful for the reminder. I'm so strong I don't need your reminder.
Really? But just a minute ago, that gray hair of yours was all standing up. You were so scared.
So, was that a Flame Reaver disguise? Or a magic trick? It looked so real. Is that the power of the trickery demigod?
I guess like shapeshifting makes sense for trickery. I guess that works out.
Disguise? No. It's not as simple as that. Let me think about how to explain this.
Makes sense.
For example, what did you think when you realized that piece of cloth came from the Flame Reaver's cloak?
We thought that maybe the Flame Reaver was around here somewhere?
That's right. And then you heard some footsteps. What did you think when that happened?
Well, we thought it must be the Flame Reaver coming this way.
Yep, exactly. I just used some hints and, mental suggestions to help you believe in a lie. Lies are what Zagreus is best at. If everyone believes in a lie, then it becomes reality.
True, but also that text is highlighted. Must be important. Also sounds like a great way or terrible way for if the Flame Reaver wasn't actually not dead. We do know they came back. Mighty told us. But if they were still dead, it sounds like a great way for them to come back to life accidentally.
Power to make lies into reality? That's got all my hair standing up.
Everyone believes in the lie of Amphorius. Therefore, Amphorius is reality. Bam. There you go. Well, now I know your secret.
I sure love your arrogance, Gray Mystery. The seamstress trusts you for a reason. Someone as honest as you couldn't trick me even if you wanted to. So, there's no harm in telling you. Besides, we still need to team up to go treasure hunting, right? Let's wrap up here. It's time to get going. Oh, was that your teleslate?
For a second, I thought it was gonna be Cypher. That would have been crazy. Ain't no way his bio is praise the sun. Did you rest well? I came during lucid hour and you seemed asleep, so I didn't wake you. In the current circumstances, I can't stay idle. Feel it's time to continue our training. Let's go to the grove, shall we? Guess I'm just gonna lead him on
Aren't you
read.
a popular one? But I got to you first, so help me with the treasures, and then I'll send you two to the grove.
Why do you need so much money anyway?
Curiosity killed the cat, you know. Do you think I'll spend it all? That's so not why I hunt for treasures. Don't forget, I'm a demigod too. And there's a line reserved for me in that stupid prophecy as well. You shall walk with greed and die over petty change. But I don't believe in that. As long as I keep collecting treasures, then I won't need to care about petty change. And as long as I don't hurt other people when I get what I want, I won't be walking with greed. Right? Isn't that simple?
Probably not. Knowing prophecy, it's probably going to be all treasure is petty change, because the real treasure was the friends. Something like that.
So, as long as I keep going down this path, all those predestined prophecies and fates will never catch up to me.
Well, I do hope they don't. But they probably will.
That was a long speech. I'm getting thirsty at this rate. The treasures of Styxia aren't gonna float up on their own. Come on, Gray Mystery. Show me what the authority of time can do.
I think she put a wink with that point. That's a new one. A few days later, at the crash site in the Abyss of Fate.
So, this is the car of the Astral Express you've spoken of. My repository of memories has been enriched with another fascinating piece of information. Thank you for leading me here, Lord Donham.
Man, that fire has been burning for weeks. Alright, still no Don Hung. I am surprised a council elder like yourself would be willing to journey so far to inspect the Express.
Archimans hold wisdom and knowledge in high esteem. If the citizens knew of your origins, I'm sure more would be intrigued by the Trailblaze. Sadly, discussions about the world beyond the sky remain taboo.
That's why we just gotta kill Aquila. I doubt Hyacine will have a problem.
It's been quite some time since you first arrived in Akima. Presumably, you've been looking for a way to leave ever since.
I have been actively gathering clues and testing different things. Sadly, the more I find out, the more powerless I feel.
Don't be too hard on yourself, my lord. This puzzle has stumped Emphorius' scholars for centuries. It isn't something you can solve overnight, even someone as gifted as yourself.
In the Grove, I discovered extensive research on the Sky Titan. It appears that many scholars from Emphorius believe the taboo against the world beyond the sky stems from a curse cast by Aquila.
Exactly. Of the 12 Titans of Emphorius, Aquila is known for being the most capricious. The weather itself reflects their mood. Tranquil sunshine, mournful rain. Aquila's breath is a brisk wind, and their cries resound as thunder in a storm.
Additionally, Aquila is one of the 2 Titans whose core flames have yet to be returned.
The sky above affects every citizen. It's clear that Lady Aglaya's decision to confront Aquila at the end of the Flame Chase journey was a carefully considered strategy.
I'm pretty sure it's because we can't get there. I'm pretty sure she said that. Because I feel like getting rid of law and stuff would have been pretty bad, but that was fine. If returning Aquila's core flame can break the sky's curse, we won't have to exhaust ourselves searching for a way back. We can simply focus on aiding the Chrysos heirs.
Anti-Catherians have no home to return to, so I understand your concern for your old friends and homeland. I used anti-Catherian technology, or scanning, as you might call it, to assess this car. Assuming my judgment is correct, I might be able to conduct a thorough overhaul of its power systems.
Really, but...
Of course. That's only if you, my lord, permit me to interact with it.
I don't trust him. But I don't have any other choice. By all means, please proceed, but be careful. The express thrusters are extremely delicate.
You honor me with your trust. I will be very careful.
Lygus carefully scans the damaged propulsion system, then methodically begins inspecting its components. This is unbelievable. You seem to understand its structure perfectly. Have you repaired something like this before? Come on, Don Hung, you're smart.
Not exactly, but we Anti-Catherians are inherently sensitive to machinery. Carefully endowed our kind with a unique advantage for analyzing and learning. If you give me some time, I might be able to fully restore this damaged car to its former glory. Then you and your esteemed companion could set off on your return journey sooner.
But isn't the real issue with Aquila?
Hypothetically, Lord Donhong, if I could open up a path out of Emphorius that circumvents Aquila's divine punishment, would you consider ceasing your support for the Flame Chase journey?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like he doesn't want us to finish the Flame Chase journey, which is interesting. Because I was under the impression that the journey is what keeps the Lord Ravager imprisoned. Unless this guy's gotten, like, tired of that and wants the Lord Ravager to escape. I don't understand. Does the Council of Elders possess some secret means of counteracting divine punishment?
It's best if you don't delve too deeply into that question, my lord. All you need to know is, I can make it happen.
Maybe this is not a decision by the Council of Elders, but rather his personal wish.
The crucial point is, if you and your companion are unwilling to halt your support for the Chrysos heirs, it could offend certain interests.
Forgive me, Lord Lygus, but I must be frank. When visiting Darncloud, I reviewed the records of many council elders. Among them, only your background was nearly blank. I like to accept your goodwill, but given such a mysterious background and motives, anyone cautious would have doubts.
Your prudence impresses me, just as expected.
Like, it seems like because there was no time Chrysos heir, that this Flame Chase journey was set to fail. Because if we weren't here, then they just would not have gotten a time person. Although I guess, like I said, they'd get someone to do it. Like I think she said like they just grabbed someone to do it. Maybe it would have been fine. Lygos has minions? Interesting. Are these people... Is this a trap? Is that why you accompanied me here? Look at these guys. They're very Flame Reaver aesthetic. I guess he's with the Black Tide? Which I didn't expect. Because I'm not sure why he would be. Unless it's really just, yeah, he's gotten tired of like being the watcher of the world and just wants to like go do his own thing now.
Please don't misunderstand, Lord Donhong. As the Theoros, I have no allegiance to their plans, nor am I obliged to obstruct them. I am neutral.
Doesn't seem like it.
Out of respect for you, I hope to offer a peaceful solution to ensure the safety of you and your companion.
One against 4, then. Just to confirm, if things turn ugly later, will you help?
I will not. As I said, I remain neutral. Are you asking this because you plan to refuse my offer? and continue supporting the Chrysos heirs.
You weren't wrong about one thing, Lord Lygus. Indeed, we must try to return to our companions. But our companions now also include the flame-chasing Chrysos heirs. The Nameless cannot and will not ignore the fate of our companions.
So I see. This is what you call trailblazing.
When I asked if you'd helped, I meant the ones who need help are them. Meanwhile, in the Grove of Epiphany. And then he lost. What? That's Don Hung we're talking about.
You have such overwhelming powers. Why? Answer me. Why do you stand in her way? Why do you want to take the core flames?
Oh no! He can't hold on anymore! Drag him back here, friend! Are you okay?
I'm okay. I can handle that kind of hit now. But a few months ago, that would have knocked me out.
If I had passed out, that would have been it.
Well, that's why I made sure you were well fed and rested on the road. Thanks for the help. To face Aquila and other potential threats, I must sharpen myself with the most aggressive methods.
Even so, it's impressive you thought of this training method. Battling the phantoms of the past in the River of Time? It's just like the hyperbolic time sanctum that the bards describe.
Uh-huh.
It's working pretty well, wouldn't you say?
Pretty sure I literally made that joke in like the last update. But the hyperbolic time stuff.
But combat isn't just about strength and skill. You also need the right weapon. Compared to that guy's weapon, mine feels like I'm swinging a lump of iron. I can't tell you how many swords I've gone through since the training began.
Weight training, huh?
It's a good thing Cartonis is the finest blacksmith in Amphorius. I asked him to make a suitable divine weapon for me. It's a little embarrassing to say this, but in order to help me, he deliberately turned down all other business.
You know, if you lie about the weapon's strength, it could become the greatest weapon in the universe. In fact, hold on a second. If everyone believes lies and it can become reality, then technically those weapon merchants we dealt with, like in 3.0, who are lying about the strength of their weapons, could have actually had very strong weapons. If everyone just believed it. Interesting.
Oh, Cartonis is part of this flame chase journey after all. Full of energy.
Thinking about how he's been recently, maybe you're right.
But, Finon, I've been somewhat concerned about you. Lately, you seem more and more fixated on that Swordmaster in black.
That's quite the sudden shift in topic.
I mean, we should be kind of concerned about that guy.
I've been holding this question in for a long time. You're getting stronger, but seeds of unrest are also growing in me.
Don't worry. I'm not wielding my sword for revenge. He's been through Nikador's trial and understands. Those who can't walk out of the shadows of their past are ultimately weak.
Oh, I've been through Nikador's trial.
Times have changed. The responsibility I bear is both precious and fragile. I wield my sword for the future of Amphorius. I will not let hatred cloud my judgment again and neglect my duties.
You've really grown.
I'm far from finished. I must continue sharpening my skills until I can match their strength. Every time I say something, things get so serious. I don't want to be the person who keeps bringing the mood down. I'm out of energy for training today. How about we go to the library of Philia to lighten the mood?
Sure, that's what I've been looking forward to. We deserve to enjoy ourselves after all the hard work. Today, I'm definitely going to...
What were you reading before?
A girl's little secret. Don't pry.
What does that mean?
That's the charm of this place. You can find whatever you're into here. The three of us might not be into scholarly books, but we could still spend an entire day at the library of Philia.
I'll have you know, I've read several scholarly books about, you know, history and, like, universal biology and, like, some of the stuff about, like, the Genius Society. Head to the library of Philia. We're here. Or I guess we're actually above it.
Here we are! Where was that slate last time? Was it here? Or maybe over here? I'm off to have some fun! It's free time now, so you should relax too.
Over the past few months, you've come here more than once, fishing out that small piece of essence from the ocean of knowledge that best suits your taste. You're quite relieved that Don Hung isn't around. No one will be there to judge your reading tastes. The scroll at hand shows a line of small text. Non-standard reading material. Please return to its original place after borrowing. Do not let any Grove professor discover it. 10 exclamation marks. It seems that the scholars of the Grove, amidst their profound academic discussions, haven't forgotten their little hobbies. So, which reading material will you peruse? Forbidden Love, The Tree and the Butterfly, overrated. My professor can't possibly be this shy. Could be funny, but could also be annoying. One Punch God Aquila. Is Aquila doing the punching? I don't know. Start with that one. Oh boy, these are actual things we can read. Oh boy. One Punch God Aquila, brushing off the dust that had settled on him, he adjusted his attire and stood firm, facing the giant eagle in a tense standoff. So, you think you're something special just because you defeated the silent Georios? Mortal, heed my advice. The God King remained silent, gazing into Aquila's 1,000 eyes. Slowly he raised his right arm, 4 fingers pressed together, and with a simple motion, he lightly waved at the colossal being before him. Arrogant fool, you will pay for the price of your insolence. Aquila's fury erupted, their towering form radiating intense heat. In an instant, their massive wings vibrated at an imperceptible speed. 1,000 razor-sharp feathers shot forth like swords, hurtling straight toward the God King. As everyone knows, the feathers of the Sky Titan can pierce through iron and steel, let alone mortal flesh. Their sheer density left no room to evade. The violent storm of lethal blades closed in, and time itself seemed to freeze. Aquila enhanced their reflexes, predicting the movements of this arrogant little thief before them. Noticing the God King shifting his stance, Aquila mused he had only 2 choices. He could push off the ground to evade left or right, or stand firm and brace for impact, but either way, it would be futile. The feathered blades would shift with the wind, altering their trajectory, no matter how swift his movements. They would follow him relentlessly. But who could have predicted? The God King never intended to dodge. He pushed forward instead, seizing the first incoming feather blade between 2 fingers. With a swift turn, he carved a spiral through the air and hurled it back at supersonic speed. The feather blade curved with the wind, piercing deep into the storm. Without the slightest deviation, it collided tip to tip with another razor-sharp steel feather. Ding! The reflected feather veered to the sides upon impact, colliding with others and further altering their trajectories. Ding! The sharp clashing of feathers rang out in an irregular rhythm, a chain reaction unfolding until the force of the final feather was dissipated, scatter harmlessly to the air. Into the air. With just a single seized feather, the God King had nullified the entire storm of blade-like wings. Aquila was shocked. How could a mere mortal possess such divine skill? Yet, as a being of godly essence, they did not allow themselves to be shaken. Seizing the moment, as the scattered feathers clouded their vision, they swiftly brought down their claws, sharp as steel greatswords, aiming to end the battle in a single decisive strike. Boom! The metal claw struck dead center where the God King stood. The sheer force of impact carving a deep crater into the ground. No, something felt off. Aquila's mind raced. This sensation was strange. Had it missed? Or they focused their gaze, only to witness the impossible. Their enormous razor-sharp claw, many times larger than the God King himself, was held effortlessly in a single hand, as if the God King were merely grasping a piece of cutlery. The countless white feathers drifting through the air painted an eerie contrast against the battlefield's deadly stillness. The once mighty and untouchable giant eagle found itself frozen in shock for the first time in 1,000 years. Muttering in disbelief, they said, "Impossible! Even Georios, when fighting me, could do nothing but evade beneath my iron claws, yet you! What in the world are you? Haven't you figured it out already? A mere mortal, nothing more." "You cocky little..." Aquila attempted to retract their claw, but under the God King's grip, it was as if It was as if frozen in place, completely immobile. Their expression darkened. Seeing this, the God King smiled. Seemed to smile, at least. He clenched the fingers of his free hand, and then, at a speed even the Titan's vision could not perceive, with full force he swung his fist. Boom! In an instant, the divine body shattered. A tidal wave of force shook the heavens, sending tremors through the divine steel-forged walls, cracking them in multiple places. The sacred temple teetered on the brink of collapse. From this moment on, the celestial realm would exist no more. The people of Amphorius would no longer endure the tyranny of the heavens, and all of this was made possible by the God King's mighty blows, no, by a single punch. The distant Titan gods seemed to sense the fall of their comrade and erupted into furious howls. Was there no one who could stop him? How could his advance ever be shaken? What they did not realize was that even one as mighty as the God King was still bound by the desires of mortals. Just before the battle began, he once again adjusted his attire. Congratulations, you have reached your end, Aquila. You are strong enough to be worthy of the name Sky Titan. He ignored the crumbling stone walls behind him and strode toward the temple's exits. His steps were steady, yet the disappointment on his face was unmistakable. But your only flaw was failing to make this satisfying for me. Next episode, Battling Nikador. Next issue is on hiatus. Wow. Invigorating literature, your favorite. This article leaves you feeling empowered as if you're the author's one-punch god incarnate. Sky Titan Aquila. That's nothing. Don't know anything about One Punch Man. My professor can't possibly be this shy. We're just gonna read them all. I hope you're all ready. Yeah, sorry I'm late. I used the power of a Cognos bloom to climb over the vines. Rushing to the classroom and nervously pulling open the door, only to make eye contact with the person I had an appointment with. The professor, barely over 30, was leaning casually against the stone lectern, loose and relaxed. The scholar's robe gleamed bright in the dim light of the other night, giving off an almost divine aura. The first class and already late. Looks like someone is eager to meet Thanatos. In other words, this was our first one-on-one session, and I just totally blew it from the start. Probably even Cersei's wouldn't have felt embarrassed looking at such a sorry scene. Luckily, I had already come up with a plan. Yeah, sorry, Professor. I'll do anything to make it up to you. Anything? Well, please, I hope you'll be lenient. With these words, the professor's face broke into a charming smile. Then I want you to teach me. Wait, Professor. I want you to break down the points in this paper word by word and explain them to me slowly. Although there was no mirror here. I could guess that my face had turned red from the sudden and direct request. But, Professor, I'm still just a student intern. Isn't it a bit too early for me to do something like this? I finally worked up the courage to say it. Do you want me to waste the lesson I prepared, you fool? At least wait until after class. If that's what you prefer, then fine. But don't forget, I still haven't forgiven you, so what should we study first today? Why don't we peruse this academic journal? I think they recently published a paper on the patterns of natural numbers. Thought that was going to say nocturnal slumbers, but I don't know why. Natural numbers. Sounds good. Come on, let's have a look. The research paper was immensely valuable, but I couldn't even grasp the basic arguments, as I was too deeply engrossed in the professor's razor-sharp gaze. He looked so rational when he was immersed in numbers, nothing less than I'd expect from the professor I cherished so much. I thought the professor was supposed to be shy in this. After that, we experienced an enriching lesson. We wandered through the classical literature exhibition, eagerly absorbing the newly compiled Titan Faith studies. Finally, we lingered in the dreams woven by the latest works of the Arithocratism school, so much that we completely forgot. The bell signaling the curtain fall hour rang, and we looked at each other. Class was over. More than once, I had resented time for its seemingly linear flow, yet I remained powerless to interfere with it. The professor looked at me and paused for a moment, as if making some kind of decision, then muttered, "Take your paper, I'll help you revise it." "Really, you mean it?" "Yes, you are my student. I take great pride in. I've been considering this for some time. Professor, let me understand your thoughts, your research, your everything." No further words were needed. Two seekers of knowledge, driven by instinct, began their search, or their deep exploration of ideas. At that moment, we had yet to realize that after this lesson, another name would appear in the acknowledgments of the paper, and in the end, this would be the very spark that led to the founding of our academic symposium. Wow. After finishing this mind-shaking piece, only one image remains in your mind. The Express. Welt. Bone. For a young Stellaron host, this type of literature remains far too ahead of its time. Forbidden Love, the Tree, and the Butterfly. She wandered through the flower sea, searching for a glimpse of those fluttering butterfly wings, but without success. Sir, I've heard that every flower has its own floriography. Generally speaking, that perception is correct. She heard the voice but could not see the speaker, yet Circes paid it no mind. She calmly responded to her most special student while scanning her surroundings. What is your floriography? I'm afraid I'm not a flower, but a tree. Evidently, this answer failed to satisfy the other party. A sound mingled. I'm just fusing words together now. A sound mingled with dissatisfaction and disappointment reached her ears, prompting her to add another remark. Well, if we're just speaking metaphorically, I suppose it would be intelligence. However, her objective was nearly accomplished. It would be around here somewhere. Now she just needed to find some bait to draw her out. Intellectual yet also romantic. Perhaps it's because I hibernate. You see, in my long dreams I've made promises to countless lovers. Really, the butterfly-winged girl suddenly rose from the thicket before Circes, startling her slightly. After all, at this moment the distance between them was virtually non-existent. Gazing directly into or at Amnestia's face, allowing the light reflecting from her lips to pass through her eyes, a hint of crimson flashed across Circe's face, almost imperceptible to onlookers. Of course, her composure wavered for only a moment. Then Circe wrapped her arms around the girl's waist and, as if pulling up a radish from the ground, gently lifted her from the flower thicket. Of course not, caught you now. Placing her on the ground, the giant tree's incarnation gently stroked the butterfly wings with the edges of her leaves, confirming the other's normal state before slowly withdrawing. So now will you tell me, why have you been avoiding me? Would you two please refrain from frolicking in my Antilla garden? A cold voice unreasonably interrupted their thoughts. Indeed, for the garden's master, the incarnation of death, such lively atmosphere was truly something akin to a natural enemy. Sorry, we'll leave at once. Thank you for listening to my troubles, Madame Thanatos. Sir, let's return to the grove. Sorry, thank you for troubling you. Oh, sorry then for troubling you. Honestly, you two, alas, but Circe's, you must be aware by now, right? A bitter sensation spread in her mouth once more. Circe remained silent, merely nodding as she bid farewell to her old friend. On the way back to the grove, Amnestia remained completely silent. After one unsuccessful attempt to question her, Circe struggled to find another opportunity to speak and simply focused on her path ahead. Voices of gossip reached them, causing irritation. A genius, so what? She's like, so terrifying. A stern figure approached rapidly. It was redacted, the source of the irritation. Amnestia offered Circe a smile, then turned and walked away. Redacted cast a sharp glance in the direction of the butterfly-winged girl's departure, then shifted his gaze back to Circe's. First came perfunctory reports and spiritless small talk, then escalation to arguments that resembled personal attacks. Do you understand? I don't need to. Let me be... Oh, that... Okay. Do you truly understand? I don't need to. Let me be direct, Circe. To romance a student, even your own creation, don't you find that perverse? Pow! This was the first time the embodiment of reason allowed emotions to govern her mind. The sensation left on her palm felt as if it would scorch through to the heart of the tree. From nearby came the sound of running footsteps, familiar yet somehow strange. Circe wanted to give chase immediately, but the words echoing in her ears tripped her steps. She was indeed somewhat distracted, allowing the girl's image to surface and fade in her mind repeatedly. When her resolve crystallized, the third curtain-fall hour had slipped by. The personification of the giant tree approached the gilded chrysalis, cried her beloved's name, then stilled, as if she had frozen. The trace left by the butterfly-winged girl who dwelled here were all but erased. Upon the foliate desk lay words, a maiden's first and final love letter. I love you, Circe. I've already received the graduation gift after all. So, forget me. It seems like it's kind of the reverse of the typical myth. I don't know. Usually it's Amnestia after Circe's, but this one is kind of more Circe's after Amnestia. And also, does like every cycle, do the Circe and Amnestia just fall in love? That's kind of weird. Because that means like that means Aglaya and Anaxagoras. That's it. Nothing else. This love story abruptly ends at its worst moment. Whether the author lost the motivation to continue or some urgent situation occurred remains unknown. If it were the latter, the Flame Reaver is fully responsible. Well, let's stop here. I wonder what Finon and
memory.
Oh, we're talking now.
Let's take a closer look.
My professor can't possibly be this shy. One Punch, all three of them are real books. Amazing. See what Finon's looking at. This is the optional one.
Well, I thought I felt a draft just now. Peeking isn't polite, my friend.
Just curious what you're reading.
You could have just asked. There's nothing embarrassing about it. Here, look, I'm reading this. Antiques Appraisal. How to Make a Fortune.
That's pretty embarrassing, though. We did know he was into antiques, actually. Maybe it's... I don't really like any of these options. I guess I'll do the first one, then. The other two are kind of mean.
You didn't know? After all this time we've known each other. That pains me.
Okay, that also kind of... I didn't like any of them. We did know, though.
I've spent a lot of time pondering how Aglaia became such an effective leader. Beyond the intangible qualities like personality and ethics, a major reason is her family wealth. That's the perk of growing up in a big city, isn't it? For those of us in the sticks, luck doesn't come as easily. It's 30% grind, 70% fate. Oops, I talked too much. As a leader, you need both integrity and... I mean, integrity and skill.
Month of cultivation, curtain fall hour, a time to feast on grains, a poor time for fishing.
Is this your girl's secret?
Oh, but then again, are there even any spots left to fish in Emporius these days?
Are you into fishing?
Ah, you scared me! Bursting into someone's world like that can really catch them off guard.
Looks at camera.
Well, no more jokes. There's nothing here. I'll go look elsewhere.
Something's odd about Mem. What are they flipping through?
They just really like fishing.
Oh, these cards are so detailed and fine. Ruler, weaver, traveler, healer.
Those are weird fish names.
But the interpretation for each card is so long. Do I have to memorize them all?
What are you looking at?
Ah! What a coincidence! We meet again. Guess we're fated to be together, huh?
It's been like a minute. Not even.
But you must be busy, so I won't bother you for now. Hope your day, every day, is joyful.
So suspicious. Not like their usual self.
You sure are persistent. All right. I'm totally helpless against your charm.
What are you guys chatting about? Is this... the Emporius Divination Compendium?
Why are you here too?
Sorry, seeing you two chasing each other around, I suddenly found my book not that appealing anymore. Never thought Mem would be into divination. But it's not exactly a niche hobby. So why all the secrecy?
I wanted to set up a surprise! Master it in secret and give you all a shock. But getting caught halfway through, it's only natural I'd feel shy. A girl's heart is more delicate than Aquila's ever-changing moods.
Uh-huh.
A surprise, huh? Someone else used to tell me the same. She was really good at stargazing and divination, especially with cards. Yeah, just like the ones you're looking at.
Did she have purple hair and wear a veil that had a weird belt on it for no reason?
Then you must be pretty familiar with all sorts of divination techniques with a friend like that.
No, I know nothing about it. I've never really believed in using cards or bones to predict the future. If the good omens foretold by divination were true, my hometown, Heidi's Elysiae, wouldn't have disappeared. Don't forget, we've got Lady Trina. Every other form of divination is just smoke and mirrors or cleverly rehearsed tricks compared to her flawless prophecies.
I mean, I'd say it should be a coach with the critical eye, but like, we have the power to rewind time. Although it's not actually rewinding time, it's actually just returning things to a previous state. And we know that divination's a real thing too in this world, so...
To me, divination could be a power that guides our spirits. Fate always casts a shadow in front of us, clouding our view of the future. That's why people turn to divination. It's just to find a small reason to give them courage to face the unknown.
You really thought about this, huh?
After all, the first chapter of the Divination Compendium discusses the significance of divination. I'm just expanding on that a bit.
Strange. That person I knew used to say similar things. Looking back, whenever she interpreted a card for me, I couldn't help but feel uneasy. Even though I never believed in the outcomes.
Is Mim the person you knew? Mim, were you a human once?
Maybe it was her tone. Cyrene. She could paint a complete fantasy so vividly, it utterly captivated me as a child. Right, I still carry a card she once used. Do you want to see it?
Oh, wow! It's so exquisite! I'd love to have a card like that.
The cards in our book are the cards, and also she had a card of you. Do you not recognize yourself in that card? Fine, that's just a card of you.
Oh, now that you mention it, yes. It would be even better if it were made of, say, crystal.
Speaking of which, partner, there's something I haven't shared with you all. Remember our first trip to the Temple of the Three Fates? The riddle that Orynyx posed to us? Who's there? You are...
Nice cosplay.
These folks are up to no good.
You buy that at the store? I didn't know they sold Flame Weaver cosplays.
Black clothing. Masks decorated with golden blood. Are they cleaners?
The cleaners? Oh my god. They look pretty black tidy, but I guess they're not. The last update 3.2 had a book about the cleaners. But I didn't think they were actually assassins. I love that. That's even better. I thought these guys were gonna be like black tide cultists.
To directly call us by our name, it seems you, Lord Finan, have studied the forgotten history of Amphorius quite thoroughly.
What's being cleaned?
Your friend seems quite interested in us. Perhaps you could explain, Lord Finan. It would be the polite thing. We can't let our esteemed guests pass away without understanding.
During the Chrysos War, to combat the Chrysos heirs, several cities formed an underground assassin squad called the Cleaners. Their task was to erase anyone with golden blood from existence. Assassination, poisoning, political persecution. They would do anything to achieve their objective.
I didn't realize the Chrysos War was against the Chrysos heir. I thought the Chrysos War was a war between the Chrysos heirs. It was against them? Interesting.
Now, this historical perspective seems biased, glossing over the Chrysos heirs' abuse of divine powers and their blatant initiation of war in order to defame our predecessors.
Is that why all of the Chrysos, like most of them, are dead?
Could you disclose the name of the author behind this popular legend, Lord Finan? I'd hate for the innocent children of Akama to be tainted by such slanted narratives.
You should have stayed buried in the dust of history. The Citizens' Assembly has once again legitimized the mission of the Chrysos heirs. But as for you, not one citizen would cast their vote for you. Executioners lurking in the shadows.
What does it matter? We've long since stopped expecting to be understood. People have become too accustomed to peace, and they've forgotten the disasters that arose from allowing generations of the Chrysos heirs to rule.
Dude, we just had like a big debate about this. Like the black tide is gonna destroy everything. Like, what are we doing?
Complete nonsense. Did you really travel all the way to the Grove just to have an argument?
I enjoy dealing with people as straightforward as you, Lord Finan. You've probably figured out why we've come before you.
Who do you think you're fighting?
Keep your cool, partner. They've come out of the shadows, which suggests they have something up their sleeves.
Yeah, I've got things up my sleeves too.
All right, let's hear it. What are you hiding? But watch your language and don't say anything you might regret. My shoulders might be sore and my sword a tad dull, but it's still enough to slice off your tongues.
Meanwhile, little Ika just exists now. Okay. Maybe they're about to say something about it.
How's it going, Cinny? This place fits, doesn't it? It's a bit small, but the lighting is perfect.
Thank you, Lady Treeby. With this, the Twilight Courtyard can be reborn in Akama. Do you like it here too, little Ika?
It's so bright here. Maybe you should rename it? How about Luminous Courtyard?
Lady Treeby makes a good point. But Twilight Courtyard carries the long history of the descendants of the sky, and I'd like it to continue.
Right. How does the legend go again?
Even Lady Treeby forgets things.
We just haven't prepared lessons in a while now, so we're a bit rusty. Just give us some time and we'll remember. Ah, now we remember. Kremnos and the Firmament, Volume 3, Section 5. With Celiosi, the Day Thunder Knight, striking down the Eye of Twilight, the divine war between Nikador and Aquila, which spanned centuries, came to an end. Thereafter, the Skyfolk gradually declined. Numerous sky fortresses were abandoned, and their descendants began to establish themselves on the land.
The sky, the people lived in the sky? They're allowed to do that?
Finally, those descended from Celiosi the Day Thunder Knight were welcomed by the scholars under Circes and established the Twilight Courtyard in the Grove. The historical records seem slightly at odds with our memories. But the details from that time have become somewhat hazy to us.
Oh, I forgot. For Lady Treeby, history is more than just words on a page. It's something you've personally lived through. Little Ika loves listening to the stories from the legends. I'm sure you're also imagining one day you'll be as awe-inspiring as the winged beasts by Celiosi's side. That day will come. I believe it. Just keep growing. Lord Crediros?
Miss Hyacinth. And Lady Treeby. Good to see you're doing all right. I heard from the citizens you were nearby and came to check.
Doing all right. What's going on, Crediros?
There's been another violent incident at the market. A shop was smashed and looted. It's the third time this week.
How can this be? I always thought that with Lady Aglaya here, Akama would remain peaceful.
That was true in the past. But these days, forgive my bluntness, her senses may not be as sharp as they once were.
Aggie.
In my opinion, malevolent forces have noticed the slack in the Golden Threads and are now plotting to exploit the opportunity.
The Citizens' Assembly just wrapped up. Why is there still unrest?
The Chrysos heirs won by only one vote, Lady Treeby. From my years of experience, a narrow victory often walks hand in hand with unrest.
Trouble. Miss Hyacinth. Trouble.
Clementine. Take a breath. What's going on?
Please, something terrible has happened at Marmorial Palace.
What is it, Doctor? Calm yourself and talk us through.
Talk and walk, guys.
Lady Aglaya. It's Lady Aglaya who's in trouble.
Moments ago in Marmorial Palace.
I still remember. This bath that overlooks the entire palace was built by the Council of Elders 900 years ago. Its purpose was to commemorate the first flame chase journey and to remember the heroes who made great sacrifices for Amphorius a millennium ago. Rules were set then. No one was allowed to enter, apart from guests invited by the Gold Weaver. But, I guess, you're no longer pretending to follow the rules, are you, Lady Kindness?
Aglaya, Aglaya. You ageless witch, hiding behind a divine facade to deceive mortals. We've been far too kind with you.
Kind? There's no need to use such a word to cover up your incompetence.
Damn.
Anaxagoras humiliated all of you before the citizens. If you still had any shred of shame, you'd throw yourselves from Dawn Cloud at the curtainfall hour to salvage the last fragments of your dignity.
Demigod, why not gaze into the water's reflection and see the wretched face you wear now? These days you're not only blind, but also deaf. The cleaners were born for this moment. When all orders, rules, and laws fail to restrain you, it's time for the dagger to pass judgment.
If you're in such a hurry, give it a try.
Going toe-to-toe with a demigod? We're not that foolish. The dagger isn't at your throat, but...
Your gravest accusation is that my humanity is fading. And you claim my concern for mortal joys and sorrows is nothing but a facade. If that accusation holds, what makes you think the lives of these civilians will sway me in the slightest?
Fine. I'll gladly use a few more words to shatter that demigod facade of yours. Like I said, you're not only blind, but deaf too. Lately, your control over Akuma has weakened. You failed to notice the thefts we arranged in the market, nor did you catch wind of the meetings happening in the Dromus workshop. Plots are unfolding right under your nose, yet you remain indifferent. Humanity? Fading? Aglaya, why not use your precious golden thread to peer into my thoughts? See if the gift we've so meticulously prepared for you can move that cold demigod heart of yours.
In this moment, I only regret not being more ruthless. Because your evil is beyond cure.
You finally figured it out. You have grown dull. I've been holding that image in my mind this whole time to make sure you could see it clearly.
I want you to have this knucklebone talisman, Big Sis. I hope it brings you luck every day and keeps you safe from bullies.
That girl who can't speak or hear. What if she accidentally lost her eyes too? You know better than anyone what it feels like to lose your sight. Imagine if 1,000 years ago you, already blind, had also lost your voice and hearing in your youth. Would you still have become the Aglaya you are today? Look at those broken, pleading eyes. How disappointing. We overestimated your cunning. If this plan fails, we still have dozens of splendid parting gifts prepared. Demigod, would you like to hear about them?
I thought I could buy some more time. In these 1,000 years, I've witnessed the fall of 10 titans. From my naive arrogance at the beginning to slowly learning how to guide others. Now, it's time to let go. I should be grateful. Grateful that I've reached this moment. To let my departure become a path for others to follow. Have I done enough? If I embrace that prophecy now, and sink into the warmth of these waters, will the wandering wind stop to mourn me, Cyphra?
Interesting that she said Cypher there. A millennia ago at Memorial Market.
Seamstress! I've come as promised. Look at this box full of gold and silver treasures. I bet there's stuff here you've never seen. Come on! As we agreed, I want to buy the most valuable clothes you have.
Little thief! You've got some nerve, barging into my shop dressed in those tattered rags. What have you brought? Let me see.
Here, take a look. Only the finest goods. See the sapphire? It's even more blue than Fagusa's eyes.
Such exquisite luster. I've only seen an ocean's tear of this quality in my mother's treasury.
Wait. You've seen one before. And here I thought I'd leave you speechless. What a letdown.
It's just an old memory. My family estate all burned to ashes long ago. This workshop is what I built from scratch.
Wow. A daughter rebuilding her family business. How admirable. Enough with the jokes. At least you did get to enjoy those luxuries.
Mind your manners, kitty. Tell me, Cyphra, where did you come from? And how did you acquire these treasures?
I won them fair and square in a bet. What? Do you doubt me? Speak up, seamstress. Give me a straight answer. Do you want these or not?
Strange. You're clearly lying to my face. But my golden thread doesn't tremble at all.
That's because I'm not lying. I've been telling the truth from the start.
Is that so? The scars and the mud stains on your face tell another story.
Oh, come on. Can't we just do business without all this chatter? Don't worry. I didn't leave any evidence, so no one will bother you.
I like how Cypher sounded exactly the same as a kid. Also, she always had cat ears. I don't know how people work in this world.
How can I trust a word you say when you're so skilled at lying?
I also don't know what's happening with her hair in that hood right there.
Dealing with you rich people is such a pain. Always wasting my time. Fine, if you don't want it. There are plenty of others who do.
Hold on. Your treasure? I'll accept it. But these alone aren't enough to purchase the Gold Weaver's finest clothes. That said, I do have something that would suit you perfectly.
Oh. What do you have in mind?
Look. Come a bit closer.
Oh, it's shimmering gold. Absolutely stunning.
These golden boots are the Gold Weaver's greatest treasures. Though not as valuable as the most precious gowns, they hold a magical power. Legend has it that Zagreus blessed these boots, allowing anyone who wears them to move swiftly and silently.
I don't really call them boots. But okay.
Put them on, Cyphra. And don't get caught again. A face as lovely as yours deserves better protection.
You rich folks just love sticking your noses in everything, don't you? Well, I'm taking these now, so don't get any second thoughts.
What's wrong?
Do you have a smaller size? These are way too big for me.
Well, I suppose you'll have to grow into them.
Do you have to interrupt me in the middle of my story? Fake? What's fake?
Those boots definitely don't hold Zagreus' divine power! You're Amphorius' most cunning liar, and even you were fooled by a Glyad!
Watch your mouth, or I'll feed you to the fish in the River of Souls. Weren't you curious how I got tangled up with that seamstress? Well, now you know. Satisfied?
I didn't expect such a simple story. How disappointing. But, boss lady, there's a chance Aglaia wasn't trying to trick you?
You're defending her.
No. I just think the story's so moving, it'd be a shame to ruin it with a lie. If I could cry, I'd be in tears right now.
Good thing you've still got a sharp tongue, or you'd have been stuck guarding someone's front door ages ago. Enough chit-chat. Let's take a look at this place. The city of Styxia. Look how beautiful she is! Let me take a good sniff of this air. This air, it's filled with the scent of treasure everywhere. Wonderful! Just wonderful. Thanks to Castorus and Grey Mystery, the ancient city's barrier was finally dispelled. Now that I think about it, helping them was well worth it. Time for treasure hunting, Barto! Lead the way, and whatever we find, we'll split 80-20.
Well, I have a suggestion. How about 70-30 instead?
Listen closely. Do you hear that? The gnawfish in the River of Souls are growling with hunger.
80-20 it is! How generous you are, Boss Lady Cypher!
Anyway, what's with all this water? It's damp, cold, and miserable here. I hate it.
Ooh, the mighty demigod of trickery! Uneasy around water?
You wouldn't understand! The people of Dolos are talented in many ways. Just, not in swimming. Why don't we have a race? Long distance, sprint, or laps? Take your pick!
What's got you so worked up? Relax, relax. Who would have thought the fearless Lady Cypher was afraid of water?
Cats hate getting wet. What's so hard to understand about that? Now, hurry up and figure out a way across. Or I might have to reconsider our split.
Don't rush me! Let me take a look around! Got it! Let's use that thing! Come on! Follow me, boss lady!
Not a good imitation. I'll play along. Let's see where this goes, Bartolos.
Oh snap.
Tell me, how did you hunt for treasure when I wasn't around, boss lady?
Trying to trick me into saying something. Not a chance.
You're as sharp as ever.
I can use Cypher. Sure. Know what she does. I know she's not a remembrance character though, which is kind of a shame because that right there, I was just thinking the whole time, it would have been fun if her Memo sprite was Bartolos. It also would have like made sense because Bartolos has been here from day one, unlike everyone else's Memo sprites. Well, I guess the Garment Weavers are always there. But Little Ika certainly wasn't. But Bartolos has always been here. So there's, you know, it made more sense. But she's not. She's, I don't remember what, she's Quantum, I know that. I don't know what class she is. Can't look at her details, unfortunately.
Ooh, interesting. Very interesting.
Was this device designed by priests of Ornyx? Do you think you can handle it?
Don't underestimate me, boss. Just find a cozy dry corner and wait for me. Mission accomplished. Now you don't have to worry about your tail getting wet.
Not bad, but just a warning. If this thing fails while we're halfway through the water...
Don't worry, trust me. For that sweet 20% cut of the loot, I'll make sure you're taken care of.
Huh. This feels truly magical. When did you pick up this trick?
All self-taught.
Well, who's she being tricked by? Like, is this the Flame Reaver? Because that'd be crazy. I don't know who else would be tricking her. Or I guess maybe a cleaner. I guess that could make sense. Maybe it's a cleaner. Yeah, it's probably a cleaner, I guess.
We're here. Can we turn off this spotlight now? It's really blinding.
No problem. Just use the device over there to shut it off.
I wonder how the cleaners found her, though. I feel like she'd be the hardest one to find.
The scent of gold coins, gems, and fine leather. It's so refreshing. The treasures in this ancient city are all floating back up thanks to gray mystery and that pink squirrel. Yes, right here. What are you waiting for? Start digging.
Roger that. Watch me.
Bartolos activated excavation mode, unearthing the treasure buried deep underground.
Wow! That's a huge chest. Move over. I want to open it myself. Wow, wow. A massive haul. Unbelievable. It's hard to imagine the kind of luxurious life the people of Styxia once led. As expected for a realm of Fagusa's disciples. This entire chest is filled with ornaments made from ocean's tears. Here, take this. See if it suits you.
Thanks for the gift, boss. Much appreciated. Look at the clarity of this purple crystal. It matches my skin tone perfectly. Oh, safer, safer. You truly have the most refined taste of all thieves and employees. Let me try this on.
She's winking now when she points. I don't think she was. She did that previously.
Where is my treasure?
How long have we known each other? I can't believe you still fall for this.
This is... How could I have forgotten about this? I'll believe it is true, and a lie becomes reality. What a convenient ability.
The demigod of trickery's divine gift. Far more practical than any golden thread or teleporter. All right, enough fooling around. Here's the real thing. Lead the way.
Cipher rules! I've already pinpointed the next trove of treasure! Starting navigation. Boss lady, we're set to make a fortune this time! Got any plans on how to spend it?
Of course. Spend nothing. Have you forgotten my silly prophecy?
I remember, of course. Whoa! Isn't that like...
Uh-huh.
Isn't that the controller for the hand of Zagreus?
Indeed it is. Not a good sign to be empty-handed. You can't get rich by waiting.
My? He was gonna say my? I don't know.
This thing makes a racket that can be heard for miles. It's just too stupid.
Seriously, what was the Titan thinking when they came up with this thing? Hey! If you don't want the trickery to be exposed, you'd better start by keeping your mouth shut. What do you say?
Is is Zagreus playing the ultimate trick? I don't even know what level we're on at this point. Who's who at this point? Is Bartolos actually Zagreus and or Cypher, and Cypher isn't actually Cypher? I don't Bartolos was gonna say my hand, I guess, instead of the hand of Zagreus. And then said, once to activate this thing, makes a racket. Too stupid. That was. And then Cypher interrupts. Seriously, what was the Titan thinking? If you don't want trickery to be exposed, you better start keeping your mouth shut. Like they're like, what was the Titan thinking? Not you, the Titan, but like like. Could Zagreus? Presumably they could. Zagreus presumably could use their power to trick people into thinking that their core flame was taken when it wasn't actually, and so they've been pretending to be Bartolos this whole time, while everyone thinks Zagreus is already dead when they aren't. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I don't even know it anymore. But it's not unheard of for a Titan to be interacting. We saw, right, Cersei's was hanging out with an Anaxagoras for a while there, so maybe Zagreus is just hanging out as Bartolos. Let's see.
You're totally out of tune.
Has Bartolos... Have their name always been, like, in quotation marks, Spirit Thief Bartolos? It's been Spirit Thief Bartolos, but was the Spirit Thief always in quotation marks? Who knows? See if I can't find a picture of... actually, they were in Seal Slammers. I can pull up that. Yes, it was always... Spirit Thief was always in quotation marks. But that's not different. But I can't... Like a thing you can't walk over here. Crazy.
There's a big guy guarding this place.
Yeah, big and dumb. Just a pure lump of stupidity.
Cat and mouse time!
Don't know if that's a combat
Look
thing
at
or not.
its face. Oh my, how could something be so ugly?
Yeah, so ugly. Ugly enough to make even me, a little imp without a digestive system, feel nauseous.
If that ugly brute messes up my face, even the stoic Talantin might end up shedding a tear.
Indeed, that would be heartbreaking. Clearly, running away is the sensible choice.
So, how about you take the front? I'll attack from the side.
Right. Fleeing fits a rogue nature. Huh?
It smells of money.
What class are you? Does it say here? Now. Basic attack deals quantum damage. Skill has a high chance to decrease one enemy and one adjacent target's damage dealt and increases Cypher's attack. Deals quantum damage to one designated enemy and minor to adjacent. Decreases the damage they deal. Okay, that's cool. Ultimate. Deals quantum damage and true damage equal to a percentage of the current tally kept by talent to one enemy. Moreover, deals minor quantum damage and true damage equal to a percentage of the current tally kept by talent to one enemy and its adjacent targets, and this true damage is distributed evenly among all targets of this ability. What? That was kind of hard to understand. Quantum and true damage equal to a percentage of the current tally to one enemy, and deals minor quantum and true damage equal to a percentage of the current tally to one enemy and its adjacent targets. Okay. But this true damage is distributed evenly among all targets of this ability. Talent. Cypher pauses or causes one enemy target to enter the patron state. After the target is in this state, gets attacked by a teammate, Cypher launches a follow-up, dealing quantum damage. This can trigger one time per turn. Cypher will keep a tally of the damage dealt by allies to the target in the patron state after using ultimate clear this tally. She does adjacent, so is she... She's Nihility. I see the background. Yeah, she's Nihility. Okay. Technique gains Zagreus' blessing while it is active. Cypher cannot be detected by enemies and gains random consumables when approaching them. When entering battle, Cypher deals minor damage to all enemies. She can steal from enemies? Good. She's Nihility, Quantum. Quantum and Nihility. Well, actually, Nihility I could use maybe to make my Acheron team better, because boy howdy did Acheron not age well. And she does need Nihility characters to be better. I'm just like, I have so many Quantum characters. I need other characters. I need a Wind character, but... I skipped an Anaxagoras. I did skip an Anaxagoras.
Never seen perfection before? Open sesame.
Although she's Nihility, but I don't know if she's good for necessarily for like an Acheron, because I don't know if she technically applies debuffs. She has a high chance to decrease one enemy's damage dealt. Is that considered a debuff? Perhaps. Damage dealt to allies decreases by 10%. I guess the debuff right there. Ow.
Let's kick things off with you!
Found me. Curiosity. Endless riddle. Nothing but a void. Expand your thinking. What a crone.
You want to take advantage?
Step up, let's see ya! How's this taste?
Thanks.
Underestimating us
That
with
feels
costume.
way better. Our cute play session is over. A lie that everyone believes in becomes a reality. Gotcha.
Makes sense that her super speed is her
Such an
ultimate.
ugly and useless creature, taken down with just a couple of hits. How boring. Hey, Bartolos, are you still alive? Give us a squeak if you are.
Here! I mean, squeak!
Look at you, all shaken up. Can't handle even this bit of action. Should be safe here now. Get to work.
Aye, aye, boss lady Cypher.
Bartolos activated excavation mode.
It doesn't smell like anything valuable this time. Since we've already dug it up, let's open it and see. Huh. Is this?
Oh. A book. The Journal of a Styxian Refugee. Month of Balance Day redacted. 3 more neighboring households moved away today. The tide has risen higher than ever before. Already reaching the 5th step of the stone stairway to our residence. The priest insists it's merely seasonal high tide that will soon recede, but having lived in Styxia for 30 years, I've never witnessed water levels like this. Leandro from the harbor went fishing 3 days ago and reported that the seawater had become unusually turbid, appearing as if mixed with ink. Beneath the surface, he glimpsed strange shadows, not human in form, yet possessing distinct outlines. After returning, he developed a high fever and has remained bedridden since. Lore, the best kind of treasure, yes. Month of Balance Day redacted. The city's feasts have grown increasingly frenzied. Grand celebrations that once occurred only during the month of joy now happen almost daily. At the Onzo family's banquet last night, I witnessed 2 normally well-mannered women treading grapes barefoot, emitting strange laughter, and then directly drinking the dirt-laden juice. They claim to be mimicking Fagusa's ritual ceremonies, though I've never heard of such an absurd form of worship. Prices at the market have risen by 30%. The honeybrew merchant reports that the brewing process has become exceptionally difficult lately. The yeast cultures mysteriously rot. Only by distilling with seawater collected directly from the harbor can they produce proper wine. Fortunately, our Doris remains lucid and has wisely advised us to minimize our consumption of the city's water and wine. Month of Everday. Last night, strange music emanated from the harbor. It wasn't produced by an instrument, but seemed to rise from the ocean depths. The low, haunting melody sounded as if it were telling an ancient tale, compelling people to approach the shore. Several neighbors and children sleepwalked to the dock last night. They claimed to have seen the goddess in the water performing and wanted to get closer. The priests have forbidden all forms of musical performance and deployed soldiers to patrol the docks. For some reason, I can't shake the feeling that they're acting from fear rather than genuine desire to protect us. I feel like I'd probably be like, maybe we should leave the city for a little bit at this point. Some crazy stuff's happening. Today I met Nora, the cloth merchant, at the market. She revealed that the situation in her district was far more dire than we had imagined. The spirit water pool in Fagusa's temple suddenly dried up 3 days ago, and despite their best efforts, the priests cannot replenish it. More alarming still, strange cracks have appeared on the wall behind the deity statue, forming patterns or script that no one can decipher. Nora has also shared a peculiar rumor. Some claim to have seen in their dreams a woman playing a lyre, draped in black veils with eyes gleaming like seawater. She allegedly told dreamers that Styxia would soon face a great transformation and only those who hear her voice would be saved. Some city residents have begun referring to her as the prophetic sea musician, despite the priest's determined efforts to suppress such rumors. This is weird. At first I thought this had to do with... The first thing I mentioned was the water rising. It's like, oh, this is when when Death died, the dragon Polixia died, and then the water blocked the water, so then the thing took over, flooded the city. But now, I don't know what's happening. Musical instruments, people going crazy, some woman with a lyre in people's dreams? That doesn't have anything to do with Polixia. Month of Freedom. We finally decided to evacuate with our entire family. The seawater has reached the highest watermark at the dock, yet some remain oblivious, still immersed in endless revelry. Our family and the neighboring Milon household have decided to journey to Akama together. Reportedly, the world-bearing Titan's protection extends there, and the tides of darkness have not yet invaded those lands. We plan to slip away quietly tonight from the northern dock area for exit. We pray to Fagusa for safety. It's not Fagusa's demigod or Crisis Air because they didn't use a lyre. They had like a violin. So I don't know. We've been traveling for 3 days now. Last night, the Milon family's youngest child suddenly developed a high fever, continuously muttering strange phrases that resembled an ancient ballad. His father decided to take him back to the city for medical treatment, though we all know there's little hope to be found there. This morning, looking back at Styxia from the hillside, I was horrified to discover the entire city enveloped in a strange aura, with sea water shimmering with an unnatural blue radiance in the sunlight. From a distance, those magnificent buildings seemed to twist and distort in the water as if they were mere illusions. Month of Weaving. We encountered several other fleeing townspeople. They brought even more horrifying news. The seawater in Styxia had begun displaying strange colors and textures, sometimes thick as honey, other times solid as glass. Those who remained in the city began to undergo bizarre transformations. Redacted. Maybe this has to do with the Black Tide? Even more disturbing is that at night the entire city bathes in an iridescent glow as if enveloped by some gigantic amniotic membrane. That's weird. They say this is Fagusa's punishment, but I can't help wondering, is this the Titan's wrath or some power even greater than the Titans at work? We've decided to continue northward to Akama. Along the way, we've heard rumors of someone named Redacted who can supposedly appease Fagusa's wrath, but these are merely legends fabricated by desperate people. We common folk can only rely on our own feet to flee this disaster. Tonight, after the children fell asleep, I secretly examined a small vial of seawater I brought from the city. It was the last drop collected from the spirit water pool in Fugusa's temple before we left in the moonlight. It displays a strange shimmer, as if something moves within it, unlike any ordinary water. By chance, I discovered that gently tapping the vial with my fingertips produced a peculiar sound, like a distant lyre, notes echoing. In that moment, I seemed to glimpse a mysterious woman standing upon the sea surface, sorrowfully playing a melody that no one could understand. I don't know if this was illusion or reality, but if such a being truly exists, one who can hear the sorrows of Styxians, then as we embark on this uncertain journey, please grant us a flicker of hope, even if it's merely a beautiful dream. Dude, you just corrupted your whole family. Akuma is now within reach. Taking one final glance back at my homeland, the beautiful scenery of old is nowhere to be seen. Only distorted masses of light and shadow undulating on the sea level, resembling foam heaped by waves before dawn, dissolving one by one to gradually reveal its cold and true nature.
Ooh, this looks tragic. Do you think they made it to Akuma?
Probably not. I've never seen or heard of anyone from Styxia and Akuma. At least, I'm still left for Dolos. Guess this city wasn't so lucky. Huh. It does seem unfair, doesn't it? Just because they were born in the wrong place, they had to face such devastation. Meanwhile, those in Akuma, simply because they're supported by the world-bearing Titan, continue to survive.
Yeah, the world just isn't fair, is it? Speaking of the world-bearing Titan, Cypher, didn't you tell me once you used to be an apprentice at Kefali's priestly court?
Huh. Did I?
Yeah, you definitely told me, and I remember it clearly. Maybe it's been so long your memory's gotten a little fuzzy.
Ah, right. I did tell you. It wasn't a big deal. I just snuck in with a bunch of mumbling priests and watched them do their spooky rituals around some glowing rock. Honestly, I was only interested in the wallets of the old grandpas on the council back then. Don't remember much else. It's been what, nearly 1,000 years?
Oh, I see. But you in a priest robe? No, that's hard to picture.
Who asked you to picture that? Besides, priest robes from 1,000 years ago were nothing like the ones today.
What does that mean?
Right. I didn't think about that. I was just curious if you ever overheard anything interesting from those priests.
How ridiculous. Come on, let's head to the next spot. Where did this roadblock come from? Ugh, this is so annoying! The treasure is right in front of us!
Oh dear, we're stuck here. But I have a plan. Should we call on that big, noisy, cumbersome hand of Xandrith?
Never thought that thing would actually come in handy. Alright. Do you want to handle it?
Leave it to me, boss. I don't need a controller. After all, you know.
You know.
Hand of Zagreus. My darling. Activate!
I love it. If this is real, if this is actually happening, I love it. Oops, wrong button.
Why did it suddenly stop? Yeah, just a tiny hiccup. No worries. Let's try again.
Like that's in there too.
Hand of Zagreus.
If Bartolos has actually been Zagreus the whole time. Self-criticism.
Not bad. However, I still don't see how this ties into trickery.
Let's go to the next room!
Hey, slow down! That question you asked me earlier. I think I just remembered something.
What did I ask?
You know, that question. The one you specifically asked me. Right after we dug up the second chest.
Forgive me, boss lady, but have you been under a lot of stress lately? I didn't ask anything. You must have imagined it.
Oh. Is that so? Maybe you're right. I have been a little on edge lately. I need to relax. All right, let's move on to the next treasure trove.
Treasure, let's
What? I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening.
Twinkle, twinkle in my chest, how this core flame is the best.
Wow, when it comes to singing, I still sound better than you, boss.
Not a good sign to be empty. Go beyond all time and space on the journey of flame chase.
Why are my characters all dead? What happened? Oh, that's weird.
This scent feels like something incredible is buried here.
Incredible indeed. If even boss lady said so, how could I not be excited?
Do I need to give instructions here? Get digging.
Bartolos activated excavation mode.
Oh, isn't this a golden scapegoat? Interesting. Looks like whoever buried this treasure wanted to play a little game with us.
Oh, isn't there a myth about this thing? Those who feared fire became sheep. Those who did not became human.
Sheep, humans, whatever. All I know is unlocking this gets us treasure. Here, this honor's all yours.
Puzzles and tricks are right up my alley. Just leave it to little old me.
The golden scapegoat is actually like in the main story now. What does it mean? What do they mean? Ah, they really made this one easy. I guess, you know, and they weren't kidding when they had that big post about like, we understand people don't like to have to do puzzles. So this one's not even a puzzle.
Told you, nothing can stop me. Cypher, it's your turn now.
Stop! Stay there, and don't turn around.
Huh? What do you mean?
I told you, don't move.
My poor old back. What are you doing?
Shh, quiet. Don't say anything unnecessary.
It's a golden nymph.
That seamstress. She's listening.
What, boss, do you mean?
put and keep quiet. I'll handle her. Whoa, whoa! Seamstress. Getting sneaky, aren't we? Did you think I wouldn't notice your little spies lurking around me?
As time passes, I find myself leaning more and more on blind luck. With only the power of this little nymph, naturally I couldn't slip past your sharp eyes, Cyphera.
Even if you could fully control Bartolos's mind, I would still be able to see through your disguise. Aglaya. You've gone to such lengths to spy on my every move. What exactly are you after? I've told you before, you don't need me to succeed. Why don't you just let this go? I already made an exception and got involved with Castorus and Grey Mystery. Asking for more now. Isn't that pushing your luck a bit too far?
I'm sorry, Cyphera. I've plotted and schemed my whole life. But I never could have predicted our relationship would end up like this. I've spent centuries trying to figure out where I went wrong, replaying every moment over and over. But you've never given me a chance to explain myself, face to face.
Don't talk to me like that. You know I can't take it.
1,000 years ago, out of foolishness, I let my silence steal away the most beautiful sound I'd ever known.
Silence.
So this time, I must say this to you, even if it's all in vain. I need you, Cyphera. The Chrysos Heir's mission needs you. The finale I've delayed for far too long. It's finally here. Whatever resentment you still hold against me will fade once I'm gone. Please, come back to Akama. I'm begging you. Without you, they don't stand a chance.
I'll think about it, Seamstress. But stop watching me. Unless you want to lose me for good.
Don't worry. As much as I'd love to hear your voice again, to see your face, it seems that chance will never come. Goodbye, Cyphera.
Goodbye, Aglaya.
What a shame. I thought there'd be some real treasure under that goat's head.
Turns out, everything in that chest was soaked in water from the River of Souls. Nothing valuable left. Those relics were once priceless. But time has eroded away all that they once were.
Aww, hearing that from you makes it sound so sad. Wait, why am I getting all sentimental? I haven't even processed what just happened. That horrible woman. Where is she? Oh!
If you see her, let her know this. As demigods, we can't avoid our duties forever.
Oh, could it have been back then? When?
Do you remember now? Looks like you don't need me to jog your memory. She must have slipped that nymph into your pocket while you were distracted. Don't underestimate that bug.
It's every bit as dangerous as the seamstress's golden thread. Let your guard down for even a second, and it might take over. Make you spill secrets you'd never share otherwise.
Whoa, that's like some brainwashing monster straight out of the Black Tide! Creepy. Boss, how did you realize something was wrong? I'm curious. What exactly did that nymph make me say?
Actually, it gave itself away very early on.
Speaking of the world-bearing titan, Cypher, didn't you tell me once you used to be an apprentice at Kefali's priestly court?
That wasn't very early on, actually. That was pretty late.
We've been partners in crime for 1,000 years. We've talked about everything there is to talk about. Except for that one experience at Dawncloud. I never told you about that. I absolutely wouldn't have shared that with anyone.
But, boss lady, there's a chance Aglaia wasn't trying to trick you?
And as far as I know, the embodiment of trickery despises that golden thread which forces people to speak the truth. You'd never defend Aglaia. Isn't that right, Zagreus?
You have a terrifyingly sharp mind.
After all, I'm the only one in the world who knows you're still alive. To make sure you survive the Titan trial, I had to fool the entire world.
Awesome.
If you want to keep that lie from falling apart, you'd better keep playing your part in the days ahead.
I wasn't sure if that was gonna be it, because once they found the nymph and they're like, oh, it can mind control, I thought like, well, maybe it was Aglaia saying weird stuff, but nah, it was both. Perfect.
Even if it weren't for saving my worthless little life, I'd still walk through fire for Cypher without hesitation.
You may have been reduced to this form, but you still haven't lost your way with words.
Speaking of which, Cypher, you're not taking that wicked woman's words to heart, are you? Life's been pretty great lately. Why get into trouble now? Don't you think?
Honestly, I've been thinking. Maybe a trip back now wouldn't be too bad.
You're back again, Cyphera, your face.
I need clothes. Anything. Just throw me something. A piece of cloth will do. Just enough to cover the wounds. I will pay back the amount I owe. I promise.
You're bleeding golden blood.
Yes. What about it? So what if I'm one of those chrysosairs they talk about? Those infinitely strong heroes. World-renowned swordsmen. Exceptionally intelligent scholars.
Cyphera.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint. Who knew that group of amazing people would include me? A pauper. Thief. Con artist. Maybe I should just make another cut to drain all this yellow stuff out of me and...
Stop it, Cyphera. I'll give you clothes, warm you up, and stay here. Stay in my workshop until you're healed.
Aren't you going to ask me how I got these wounds? Right. What's the use? I'm so good at lying. Even your golden thread can be fooled. If you can't verify the truth, why bother asking at all?
I don't need to ask. Nor do I need to use the golden thread. I know everything you do is for survival, at all costs. Stay here. You won't have to deal with the cold or go hungry again. Stay by my side, and you can start putting yourself back together.
Aren't you
Worried I'll ruin this place's reputation? Or that I might sneak off with your precious clothes and sell them?
Okay. I see what's happening with her hood now. So I'm so focused. It's a hole in her hood, but it looks like with how, I don't know if it's like an optical illusion where it looks like her hair is over top her hood. Like it's a separate like masking layer on like a paint program, but it's not. There's just a hole in her hood.
I wouldn't have invited you if I were worried about those things.
You're weird, seamstress. You know, they say a child who often lies remains a liar for life. I've tried not to become a liar, but honestly, it's just too hard. I'm close to giving up. What makes you think I won't disappoint you?
Because I can feel it. Not with the power of a demigod, but with the heart that beats in my chest. You love this place. That's why you keep coming by, but also why you hesitate to stay longer. You worry you'll tarnish the Gold Weaver name. After taking over Nestia's divine authority, I became used to letting the golden thread distinguish sincerity from falsehood. However, the mission I need to complete requires me to learn to trust and rely on my heart. Cyphera, you're an honest thing I've given to this world. And also a challenge the world has given to me. Stay here with me. You have a beautiful face that deserves better than to be covered in scars and grime.
You've got a way of talking that's hard to follow. All right, let's make it a deal. You have 1 day to change your mind. Once the action hour passes, there's no turning back.
They have a very interesting relationship I was not expecting. Although it's hard to tell how old Cypher is supposed to be there. She looks pretty young, but her voice is exactly the same. These folks in black are not responding to provocations, nor do they seem intent on fighting. What exactly are they waiting for?
Pressure. Fear. Planting seeds of anxiety. It seems this is the strategy they've chosen.
Huh. An organization that sees it as their mission to eradicate the Chrysos heirs. I've read some chilling accounts, stories of the Cleaners, using alchemical arts to imprint fragments of memories into their successors, ensuring both identity and hatred live on. That's true, yeah. Yeah, actually their clothing looks like that. So their whole thing was that the Cleaners implant the spines of their previous members into their new members. So it's just like one person, I guess, kind of like swapping bodies or something. And their clothes actually have like a ribcage spine thing going on.
From what I know, these stories are true. The kindness we know today, strictly speaking, is the 27th kindness.
Kindness is one of them?
Objectively, the rise of the Cleaners was both inevitable and necessary. Yet, their ruthless and twisted methods earned them nothing but disdain and condemnation from history.
And still they endure. An organization persisting through time, now working tirelessly to obstruct the flame chase. Are they truly so terrified of the era nova the Christos heirs strive for?
Even in these crumbling end times, there are always those who find ways to profit from the chaos. To ask the vested interests to abandon their status, wealth, and ambitions in this world for a distant ideal may be no easier than creating a miracle.
I wonder where that guy is now. If they're targeting me, he definitely won't escape their notice either. I hope all is well. Is that Lord Berteros?
There you are, Lord Donghung. We couldn't reach you on the teleslate, so the Holy City Guard almost assumed you two had met some terrible fate. You pests crawling in the shadows, back off. Your plot ends here. You've played your hand. Run while you still can. It might be your only chance to survive. Stay away from Akama forever. If you set foot there again, the fury of its people will tear you apart. Because Aglaya is dead, and in the eyes of the Holy City citizens, her blood is on your hands.
Thanks, Kratos. I was gonna say, wow, we killed those people, but one of them was still breathing at least.
Looks like she was wrong about you.
She? Are you talking about the mastermind behind all of this?
Well, she thought you were weak. She believed that even when you were facing the evil that you claimed to oppose, you'd hesitate to strike.
Misinterpreting mercy for weakness shows how arrogant and foolish your master is. They're still alive. With proper care, they'll pull through in a few days. But I must warn you, I haven't fought a human in ages. I can't guarantee I'll always be able to hold back. They're lucky they're still alive. If you feel as lucky as they are, try me.
Bro, you sound so cool.
Finon is seriously upset.
Get out of here. Don't show your face around us again. If your master wants to stop the flame chase journey, she'd better bring an army that makes Kremnos at its peak look like child's play.
I've said it more than once, Lord Finon. We're not here to start a fight. We came only to ensure you weren't anywhere else.
Yeah.
While you were unaware, we already accomplished our mission to buy time. So, Lord Finon, until next time.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Anyone who uses innocent lives as bargaining chips has gone too far.
But they were after the Chrysos heirs.
I guess the opposition within the Council of Elders is still desperately fighting to obstruct the flame chase. If the conspiracy is exposed, they'll be hunted down in the Holy City like rats with nowhere to run, no matter where they hide. My teleslate.
New message from the group chat. Global announcement. Due to force majeure, the world-wound web operations will be temporarily suspended. Please stay calm and remain in your homes. What's going on? Message failed to send. You're currently not in the service area. Whitelist protocol loaded. Local golden thread enabled for emergency internal communication only. Lady Goldweaver deceased. Please return to the Holy City at once. I know it's hard to believe, but please come back soon. On my way.
Aglaya, is this blasted? Those guys.
Was it those guys doing?
But how could they possibly? Stay calm. This could just be one of her schemes. I won't believe it until I see it for myself.
Fainan, what should we do now?
Stay on course. I'll contact Treeby and ask her to keep the citizens calm. We'll hurry back to Akuma as fast as possible and assess the situation in the city. If we run into any enemies along the way, I won't be merciful this time.
Cartonis? Oh, you're forging a sword for Fainan, aren't you? I haven't seen you wield the hammer in so long. I couldn't help but be entranced by the sight.
You, Aglaya. In this form, you come to me. It means...
That's right. At this moment, my physical form is already shattered. My journey as a human in this world has come to an end. It's time to fulfill our pact.
Of course. The pact. I haven't forgotten.
The thing I entrusted to you. Do you still have it?
Far too plain this vessel is. Not worthy of you. Do you still insist?
I insist. Over the past 1,000 years, every piece of fabric I've worked with has been tainted by my cold divinity. It's made me hate their colors, texture, and scent. This ornament stands apart. It was a gift from a child. She was pure and kind. I often wished my childhood could have been like hers.
How to say goodbye to everyone? Have you already planned?
I'm afraid there's no such detailed plan this time. I deeply regret not being able to say farewell to them, one by one. The moment has come. My departure will give them one less thing to worry about. This parting gift should help ease the regret of such a sudden goodbye.
Invented for the Titans, Kremnos' soul-forging technology was. Though divinity it retains, filtered out, the remnants of humanity will be. Is that what you want, Aglaya?
You've confirmed this with me repeatedly. Yes, Cartonis. I need you to do this for me. Condense my divinity into this ornament. It might still be useful in the future to help them complete their mission.
Selfless until the end. Envy that child, there's no need to. Already lived a grand life your humanity has.
Your praise puts my heart at ease, Grand Craftsman. Now, please, take me through the last tempering that fate has to offer.
The city is silent, and tension is building with every passing second.
It's still weird that they can die and then but the Flame Chase journey still works. But I guess their divinity just is like hanging out somewhere. I don't know. And I don't just mean for Aglaya. Aglaya is obviously she's going into that bracelet, I guess. But what about the other Chrysosairs?
The news is probably spread by now. Every household is locked up tight, and all the market stalls have closed down temporarily.
She really was taken by the cleaners.
I can't imagine how she could have been taken down by a handful of assassins. Unless it's all a part of her plan. If this is all part of a larger plan, Traby must know something. She just couldn't say it in the message. Let's go find her.
These people aren't listening. These people are still out and about. Who's gonna be the last one standing? Fine on. Obviously. Use carefully. Carefully's the last one. Except Zagreus tricked everyone, is still alive. That's love that. That's so good. I love that Bartolos this whole time has been Zagreus. It's awesome. Wonder how that works out. Like, does it happen every cycle? Does Zagreus do this all the time? No, but it's very, very fun twist there. I mean, it's crazy to like. I wonder how she pulled it off, because I mean, it tricked the vortex of Genesis, like the very like mechanics behind the world believes that Zagreus's core flame has been taken, and she had to have like gone into the trial, I guess. I'm like, how did she do it? Because everyone would have watched her go into the trial, presumably. But if she didn't even take the core flame, how was there even a trial? So they had like fake the trial. Very cool. So far, this has been a fun update. I like that the cleaners are here, and I like this Zagreus thing. We shall continue, of course, tomorrow. So until then, thank you all for watching, and may the sands of time treat you well.